Hello, and welcome back to the Coop de Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Noah Fisher, and we are here to discuss PSG versus Aston Villa from the Champions League quarterfinal on Wednesday night. Yes, it was a disappointing result. That last-minute goal absolutely kills us. But do you believe we can make it through? I certainly can. 2 nils, possible. So we're trying to be positive tonight. We're keeping the faith. We're going to be talking about Southampton and that second leg at Villa Park. That's very exciting next week. So we will be covering all of that and much more after this. And yes, welcome back to Coop de Villa Live. We're here. I'm here with Noah, and we're here to discuss the game from Wednesday night. So Noah, PSG 3, Villa 1. Look, it was always going to be difficult, and I think we all knew that. But it was almost a fantastic night in many ways. Of course, we had 4 minutes of absolute ecstasy when we were ahead 1-0. Morgan Rogers gets that goal. But it was against the run of play, and I didn't really celebrate too loudly because I knew, it was still going to be a long evening. PSG are outstanding team. Like, I think easily the best team we've played since Emery's joined. Maybe the best team we've played for a long, long time. I think they're better than the Man City team of a couple of years ago. They just are relentless. They're young. They're dynamic. They defend pretty well. They've got goals and creativity coming from all areas of the pitch. And all those things considered, I think until that last-minute goal by Nuno Mendes, the third goal that sort of was the big kick in the teeth, we didn't give them a golden chance. Like, their two first goals were absolute worldies, and we sort of nullified them to shots from outside the area and around the box. So I think we defended quite well, and I don't think we could have done much more. I'm proud of the players.
Oh, I'm proud of the players too, Scott. They worked their socks off, to be honest with you, and went there with a game plan to be a counter-attacking team, and we got a goal ahead, and it was unbelievable. And the limbs in that away end were second to none. And as you said,
Great.
PSG, what a team! I mean, they scored 3 goals, and like the XG was like 0.01, 0.03, and like 0.04 or something like that. Like they're 4 pretty good goals.
Yeah.
You sit back and you go 2-1 makes a hell of a difference. 3-1, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. And it's it's a hard one to come back from. But I think we can.
Yeah, of course.
I think we can.
Yep. It's certainly not in the territory of like Villa need a miracle. I mean,
no, not at all.
We've beaten so many teams at home this season. We've beaten Bayern Munich. We've beaten Man City at Villa Park this season. We've had wins against Arsenal at Villa Park recently. We've beaten good teams at Villa Park, and yes, we got to win by 2 goals. But who says we can't win 2-0, 3-1, take it to extra time, and then like who knows? We've got all the momentum. So. I'm still keeping the faith. I still think that Emery will have a plan. We'll come up with something. I think, the game on Wednesday, he picked exactly the team I was expecting him to pick. We had like all the runners, all the hard workers on the field. I guess the one decision that I think maybe backfired slightly, although – I didn't think he was terrible. Was Rashford over Watkins? Like,
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I mean, it's a debate, right? I think Rashford obviously plays a part in the goal, and had a few good moments here and there. But in a game like that, where we were not going to have much of the ball, I think maybe Watkins might have been the better choice, and I'm kind of expecting Watkins to play in the second leg. Maybe he puts them both in, but I'd be surprised if Watkins didn't start the second leg. How did you feel about that?
I think the way that we went into the game was to counter-attack, and Rashford has genuine pace. Obviously, I think we did miss Watkins' hold-up game. I do agree with you there. But the way Emery set up the game, it's the way we scored our goal, Scott, and it's the way the game plan was set. And I'll tell you what, you take a 2-1 loss away at PSG. You really, really do. And we were that close. And what jinxed it is, like, I'm not sure what commentary you had, Scott, but like on the one I was listening to on the stream, it was like, it looks like both teams have shut up shop. Like, take a 2-1, and then I look away for a split second, and then we've conceded. And it's like just a massive kick in the guts. That really is.
Absolutely. There was a period of about 20 minutes with maybe like 10, 15 minutes to go in the game that PSG had the ball, but they weren't really like trying to create chances. And Villa was sort of sitting back and, not closing down the ball, but not really giving them much either. And,
100%.
I thought that we could, see it out 2-1 and then, give it a red hot go at Villa Park. But like Duncan said, they scored out 2 absolute worldies, and they were at the worst possible times. 4 minutes after scoring, if we could have got into halftime 1-0, that would have been great. And then, of course, he takes off Cash at halftime because of the yellow card and because Kvaratskhelia is causing him some issues, and he's a great player. And Disasi comes in, and he's not quite ready. I mean, to come into this match like cold halfway through the game, it's like I felt for him, and I actually think he responded really well after being made to look a little bit silly on that goal. Getting spun around and ended up on the floor. Like, it was like Jerome Boateng from when Messi, posterized him a few years back. There was sort of shades of that. And, but he still like puts the ball in from such a tight angle in off the post, like
great goal
on his left peg. And that was probably the goal of the game, I think. Like, I mean, Doué's goal was fantastic.
You can't separate them. They're both unbelievable goals. All 3 of them, Scott, were just we're great. And that's when you play class sides, Scott. I mean, we can sit here all day and tell you how good their goals were. The fact of the matter is we're 2 goals down, and Villa Park's going to be a special place. Special things happen under the lights there at Villa Park is just kind of what happens, and hopefully another magical moment's on its way.
Yeah. And like Duncan says it here, like 2-1 was very doable, and it's really annoying. And like, I feel for the players. I feel for Martinez, and I think it was it Disasi again or Conte? I can't remember, but they dive in, right? It's the last minute of the game. They're obviously tired. We've been chasing the ball all game, right? And they both sort of dive in, and kind of commit. And he has the sense to cut it back, dummy, and then he's got pretty much an open goal on his right foot. But that's a fullback doing that. You don't expect that from a fullback, and
no.
It hurts because 90 seconds more and we get away with a decent result, like not a bad result. And we had a couple of half chances in the second half. Rodgers had another shot.
Oh yeah,
Torres had a header where he couldn't quite reach it, but the likes of Rodgers, Torres, McGinn were amazing in this game, I thought. Like,
the players dug in, backs against the wall, Scott. Like, I'm not sure if you remember what happened 6 years ago, the night of that game. We beat Rotherham away 2-1. Grealish scored that wonder goal. We've come a long way, Scott, in 6 years. Like, I think it's a good time to sit there and appreciate how far we've actually come in what is still a short space of time. Like, I know 6 years is quite a while, but in football terms, it's bugger all. PSG away, like, I still sit here and go, what the fuck? Like, what's actually happened? Like, it's crazy how well we've done this season, and we can still get Champions League again next year. We can still get all this stuff happening, and it's just be positive. Like, why not go with the just believe attitude? Like, it might be tough to score 2 goals and not concede one, but have a fucking crack. It could be our last game in the Champions League, and what a way to go out, a home leg, have a crack. I don't want to roll over. If we roll over and lose 4-0, like that's going to be so disappointing. It's at home, have a crack. If we lose 1-0, if we lose 2-1, at least we can say we played our hearts out in this competition.
Absolutely, and I don't think we will roll over because we didn't roll over in this match. No one can say we didn't fight till the absolute end in this match, right? So look at Dortmund, right? They lost 4-0 to Barcelona. They were embarrassing. Dortmund are a seasoned team in the Champions League. They made the Champions League final last season, right? They've been there. They get there every year. And they went to Barcelona and got absolutely done 4-0. And I think Barcelona and PSG probably will be the final, right? If all things sort of shake out like they probably will. I mean, I'm still got my fingers crossed, but I think...
Never say never.
I think it's probably like an 80-20 chance that PSG go through. I think, if we play this game 100 times, we maybe progress 20 times.
And I'll take those odds.
Yeah, but if that's a chance, you're right. Like that's why we're here. We're here because, for every other year for the last 30, 40 years, we've had 0% chance of getting to a Champions League semi-final. We got to, and if you're giving me a 20% chance, I'm just glad we didn't go and lose 4-0, right?
Exactly.
Like Dortmund, and then this game would have been over. At least now
we have a sniff.
Right, we have a sniff, and if we can start well,
Scott, I'll tell you what, Scott, if it's 1-0 Villa at halftime, we are making it through. I'll say it now. I'm saying it now because the second half will be unbelievable. And if we get to extra time penalties, who are you backing? I'm only backing one keeper in the world.
Yeah. I'm backing us 100%. And Emery, I think he's got his tactics right. I think Duncan was right with the tactics work well, right? Yeah. It's just we got a bit unlucky. Like they scored a couple of absolute stunners, and
worldies. That's FIFA sort of stuff. That.
Yeah, and in the last 20, 30 seconds of the game, we unfortunately gave up a goal that killed us. It's not. It hasn't completely killed us.
No,
it's knocked the stuffing out of us, but you don't sort of judge teams on how they fall. It's how they get back up, right? And I'm expecting us to get back up and do something special. PSG have got all the pressure on them now. I
do want to touch on this comment because if you look at the shot map, I don't give a shit where they take their 29 shots from. I reckon over half of them were from outside the box.
Yeah, I don't remember another clear-cut chance.
No, we had 7, and I think all our 7 were pretty decent opportunities. Like, they were not, like, terrible shots. But if you're going to... PSG had to shoot. Obviously, they're at home. They want to try to score. We're defending deep. No, of course they're going to have 29 shots. I
mean, Emery made a good save in the first half from the half volley. I think it was Dembele, maybe. But, it wasn't like one of these. It wasn't a clear-cut chance. We weren't falling apart at the back. I thought Torres was immense. I thought Consul was good. Digne,
or would you have played Tyrone Mings in this?
No, I think you got it right because
you reckon
there was times that we needed to be.
Obviously, Torres is more agile and stuff, and a bit shorter, and can probably go with the strike a little bit more. But I thought it was like a genuine defender.
He's probably more calmer. Like,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong though. Like, Tyrone Mings wasn't going to stop those goals. I'm not saying like Tyrone Mings was difference maker, but I would be surprised. I reckon Mings will come in at Villa Park.
The problem is, I think the Mings does have a little mistake in him from time to time. I know, but we can't. I don't know. I think Torres is better than Mings.
Oh no, 100%, 100% agree.
Like, so I don't know. I don't think that was why we lost the game. I think why we lost the game is
outclassed in the end of it.
They were fantastic, and we didn't quite make the most of the opportunities we did have when we won the ball back, and it wasn't very much. We did it well, really, really well once, but you kind of need to do that 4 or 5 times, in a game. When you're playing this sort of away performance. And and look, that shot by Doué, if you look at it, right, Rogers is got pressure on him. He's kind of got his shoulder to shoulder. He's pushing him, and he's totally off balance. And he still goes in off the bar. Like, I mean, it's just like you just got to put your hand up and go, well, that's a great goal. What can you do?
But the way I see this now, Scott, is this game's been and gone, and the next most important game is Southampton. Yes. It's a banana skin game. We have to beat Southampton now because we are well in the hunt for Champions League football, because that win for Arsenal, I believe, secures 5th spot as a Champions League spot for us. Yes. And we are well in the hunt, Scotty. I know we're sitting after Crystal Palace going, how the hell are we going to get there? But we are in with an absolute sniff. Like, absolute sniff.
Yes, and look, yeah, and like everyone, all our sort of kind of rivals for that 5th spot, if you have a look, I mean, Man City are playing Palace, Chelsea have got Ipswich, Newcastle got Manchester United. I guess they could drop points there possibly, but they're at home, and Man United are kind of focusing on the Europa League. So you would say that all of those teams are probably going to win. So we have to win. Hopefully, someone can do us a favor, but
always happens this time of year.
Yeah, we really need to beat Southampton. They've got a new manager, of course, so they got Adam Lallana, I think it is, caretaking.
Yeah, I think
somebody else. Look, I think there'll be changes against Southampton. I think that's definitely. I think the guys that didn't play in this game, I think we'll play, like Mings, or who else we got? Probably Madsen. These kind of guys that sort of came off the bench and didn't start in Paris will come in and, it'll be interesting to see if Watkins or Rashford starts against Southampton, because
it's a weird
one.
I think
Marlon will start, Garcia will start,
I think it's a game for Rashford, this, as weird as it sounds. I think, again, Palace will sit deep. It'll be exactly the same kind of, but in reverse, because they'll sit deep and try to hit us on the counter-attack. And I don't know. I think Rashford's the one for this game, but at the home league against PSG, I'd put Watkins in. So I don't know. I'm no manager. I don't get paid to make these decisions. So
I would agree with you with the Watkins shout. Just I think maybe even Asensio from the start against PSG.
I think he was a little bit rattled, by the way, when he came on. I don't know. I think he was a little bit rattled. I'm not sure if you got that vibe as well from him.
Yeah, he didn't play his best, but yeah, I mean,
it's a weird game to come into.
Yeah, and then that second half, they seemed to really slow it down.
They upped
like
it
you
as
said,
well.
like they kind of, it was like they were happy with the 2-1, and then just snapped at the end. And it was actually when we attacked that we looked the most vulnerable.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. So when we went forward, was when they scored a couple of their goals. That last goal was came from
Rodgers.
Came from an attack down the left-hand side for us, and we were 1-on-1 at the back, and just like Esri Konsa diving in, trying to cut a ball out. It was like little things where if that was in the 50th minute or 60th minute, maybe they keep their feet and just try and try to push them into a cul-de-sac. But everyone dives in at the same point, kind of desperate and unfortunate. But look, it's not done. I think
it's not done. Believe Ted Lasso it. Believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you imagine if we do score the first goal, like say 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, the roar from the Holt end, like. I can just imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous, Scott, because obviously we got a good friend Owen and Max and stuff that were the away leg, and it looked amazing. But as I was lucky enough to know this season, the whole team when it gets going is something extremely special, and it really does drive the players. You can see it when they're playing. It just when they get behind it makes them have a spring in their step and whatnot. So it's special. I'll be up watching. Hopefully I get the day off work. I did have Wednesday off work this week, so. Hopefully I get off again this week, I can watch it, but we'll find out.
Awesome. And Prince William and
I
Prince
loved it.
George at the game going off in the royal box. Love
Loved it.
that. They were loving the goal when Rodgers put that in, and as we all were. We had 4 minutes of absolute joy, and like these are the feelings that we weren't getting when we were in the championship. No, we weren't relevant. We weren't on a game that everyone was watching because I think everyone knew that was the game to watch because it was just interesting. And I think most people had their eye on that game, not the Barcelona Dortmund game. And just the tweets and the kind of people going, "Oh my goodness, Villa are ahead!" And it's just, it's just a shame we couldn't keep it going. But
oh well.
Yeah, but
I've had a great time at the moment, Scott, enjoying this. I'm going to enjoy it like it's anything special. It took 41 years to get back here, or what is 42 years to get back here. Just soak it in.
Absolutely. And even if we do go out and let's say PSG win 2-0 or something and it's like over early, we've still got huge things to look forward to this season. The FA Cup semi-final, the tickets went on sale just a few hours ago. I've heard a lot of people having issues with the website and things like that. Let us know.
Owen did get his ticket, so he was very happy. But, I mean, it's mayhem. Was it 18,000 tickets or something for a fan, for a club? I don't even know what it is, but it's not many. It's not many. So I hope a few guys that are in here got some tickets and stuff. I'm very jealous.
And I'm sure Wembley will be rocking for that semi-final. We've got that. We've got the chase for top 5. I still think it's a real chase. I think Villa are in it.
Definitely a real chase.
I think Villa and Newcastle are my favourites to finish 4th and 5th. I think Chelsea and City could drop out.
I can see that, especially no Haaland. I definitely can see that.
And I think even Forest could drop out, but I think they'll probably make it. But hopefully they can, that they sort of get the jitters a little bit and start dropping some games because they got a few injuries too. And I think John makes a great point here. It was really unfortunate the Cash yellow card, and because I actually thought Cash was playing quite well. I mean, he gave away quite a few fouls, right? Obviously, but he had that thou shall not pass mentality, and you got to have a bit of mongrel, and like Cash has got that, and I like that in him, right?
Yeah.
Like so he's willing to put in a hard challenge. He's willing to kind of fight and
have
not
a crack.
Have a crack and not be like a shrinking violet out there. And and obviously when he comes off, like Disasi's just not ready for what Kvaratskhelia is about to do. And I mean, not many people would have defended that much better because there was a brilliant bit of skill. But I think maybe Cash does a little bit better, and who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, could Emery have kept him on for another 15 minutes maybe and then subbed him?
Is it worth the risk?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because
I honestly,
if we go down to 10,
it's a different game then.
Yeah.
I don't think it was worth the risk. I think Emery got it right. I really do. I know we look at the scoreboard and go, Disasi got burnt, whatever, for that goal, but I would have got burnt. Anyone would have got burnt for that goal. Anyone. He's a class player.
And credit to Disasi, I think he made some huge blocks after that and some big tackles. And, a lot of players, like, that could have been it for them. Their confidence could have been done. Whereas I thought he was pretty good along with the rest of the back 5. Martinez, great again, I thought. Made some great saves. A lot of people are saying for the Kvaratskhelia goal that maybe getting beat on your near post, but it's top corner in off the post. I did not blame him for that goal. You can't blame him for the other goals, and he made 2 or 3 really good saves. He caught some crosses. He looked demanding, and we're going to need a huge performance again from him next week. If we have a chance of going through, because we really need a clean sheet, to be honest.
100%. 100%.
I'm sure they're going to cause us some issues on the break. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Will they let us have a bit more of the ball and then try and break on us? So will they? Luis Enrique has said we're going to play exactly the same way, and
Yeah.
I kind of expect that probably will be the case, but it will be interesting. Yeah. Anyway, look, I think there's not really too much more to say. Should we do predictions for Southampton?
Yeah.
I'm going to go
You go
4-0.
first. Yeah. 4-0. Fucking hell, Scotty.
4-0.
I'm going to go.
Southampton are awful.
I know they're awful, but they're playing at home. No, I know they're relegated, but I think we're only going to win. Tommy would say like 15-2 or something, but I'm going to go 2-0.
We need that goal difference back. You know, we need a.
Yeah.
We could go if we could get 5 or 6 or something. That would be pretty good.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Just
Billy Bolsh reckons 3-1. 3-1.
3-1.
I'll take that, Billy Bolsh.
Yeah, I'd take it. And look, let's hope we can.
Duncan 6-0. I thought, Tommy, is that you or what?
I can't imagine what Tommy would say. He'd probably say 10.
I'll find out. Yeah, I still reckon. I reckon it's gonna be a scrappy game. I agree with Dickie. I do.
Possibly, but let's hope not. Let's hope we can kind of get the game won nice and easy, and sort of not have to overexert.
I do agree with this though, because we haven't really battered anyone this year, have we?
No.
Like normally get like one a year. Like in our first season back, we battered Norwich 5-1. Like we haven't really battered a team this year.
No, I mean the biggest win, I think it was the 3-0 last Premier League game against Brighton, right? Or the second last one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's our biggest win. So
yeah.
Well, thanks for watching again. Please like and subscribe and follow us and hit the bell because we're going to go live after Southampton. We're going to be going live after we perform the miracle of Villa Park on next Tuesday night. So
can't wait.
Make sure you catch up with us then. Please let your friends know about us because we've got some massive games coming up for the rest of the season. And we want you guys to get involved with the chat, get involved, leave a comment in the comment section once the video goes up. And we will see you after Southampton. So until then, up the Villa.
Up the Villa, UTV.
Cheers.